What was your reaction to that, and what do you say to that?
He's such a loser. You know, and I say that and I'm laughing, but I really do believe that he's a loser.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, you son of a bee, you. Now I'm laughing, but I really do think your mama's a bee. Hey, shout out to all of the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and I'm troubled. And the reason why is because with all of the attacks that Jasmine Crockett has sustained from the right wing, I get the same question all the time in my emails. Do you think she's going to switch up? Do you think she's going to change her approach? What y'all think?
If you could speak directly to Marjorie Taylor Greene, what would you tell her?
I would tell her that she needs to maybe watch PBS and learn how to read.
I'll take it.
I mean, we can start there.
She did say she didn't read the bill. She didn't say why she didn't read the bill, but that would be a reason. That is consistent with what she said. And another thing, because Jasmine Crockett definitely clocked the spirit of Musk's departure from the government.
Hallelujah is what I gotta say. Is it Sunday? Let us all give thanks to the good Lord above. Listen, let me tell you something. He is gone, but the Musk is still going to linger in the air. We know, as you went through in your intro, that there are so many people that have been impacted by these ridiculous and not thought out cuts. And it's not just the federal workers. It's those constituents of ours, our citizens, that are being impacted the hardest by these cuts. And so here it is. You basically let this guy run wild. And honestly, I feel like all of the cuts to federal employees, that was nothing more than a distraction for the things that he really wanted to do, which is to make sure that there was no oversight over his companies, the companies that were under investigation. This was to kind of keep us busy and distracted. And unfortunately, in the process, we have harmed our federal government, and ultimately we are harming our overall economy.
You know what? That makes some sense, because it's been days and I haven't noticed. It's still pungent.
He is gone, but the Musk is still going to linger in the air.
Yeah, it's still very pungent, literally and figuratively. Maybe it's something like the atmosphere, you know, or like air quality. Like it takes some time for it to clear out. Even longer, since y'all don't believe in climate change. So it might be a minute. Huh? Did she have any smoke for Trump? Was Trump in them Epstein files? I'm just playing. That one's for you, Elon. But seriously, take a couple steps back, because it's rough out here.
President Trump himself on another network criticized you and called you a low IQ individual.
Oh, I got this one. That just means black. That just means black. Yeah, we saw the chart of who he calls low IQ individuals. The guy that does the weave because he can't stay on topic, calling somebody else low IQ. Yeah. Kofefe. Yeah, Kofefe calling somebody low. Yeah. We understand what that means. I got you, Jazzy.
What was your reaction to that, and what do you say to that?
He's such a loser. You know, and I say that and I'm laughing, but I really do believe that he's a loser.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, you son of a bee, you. Now I'm laughing, but I really do think your mama's a bee.
I truly, number one, can't imagine being the president of the United States which arguably historically has been the most powerful country in the world. And I'm worried about a rising sophomore or a sophomore in Congress. Like, I can't really see me taking up that much airtime or space on that person. And listen, whenever people start to attack you based on things that are not of substance, that's when you know that you're really getting under their skin and that there is nothing to attack. Because if he really had something of substance to say, then he would say, you know what, this congresswoman has filed for this bill or done this or done that. And so she has no idea what she's doing. He can't say that. Anytime that he decides that he wants to lodge an attack against me, it's something like low IQ and actually he has a really hard time. Now he just says my name. They've got this Crockett is what he says, you know, and it's like, I, for some reason, frustrate him, and most likely it's because I refuse to back down. You know, I am gonna call him out at every chance that I get for anything that he is doing that is not only harming my constituents, but harming a lot of the constituents of the Republicans that are going along with this agenda. And I think that it is incumbent upon me to make sure that I can educate people and make sure that they understand that the pain that you are feeling, the pain that's being inflicted, is being inflicted by him and his administration, and that is the reason you're feeling it. I don't want anybody to get confused and believe that Joe Biden has anything to do with the pain that they are feeling, whether it means that they won't have health care, that ain't got nothing to do with Joe Biden, whether it means that you are struggling to find a job because literally, I think just recently a report came out saying that for the first time in maybe 3 years that we actually shrunk. I think our economy is actually starting to shrink instead of growing. If people are complaining because we are entering, as some would argue, that we are in a recession already, I need them to understand that it's due to his incompetence. And when he wants to take an IQ test and challenge me, I am down.
That'll happen around the same time as we get his taxes, which once again, I would like to reassert that if you had it, if it was something that you could prove, then you would line up to do it 6 ways to Sunday. Now, as far as our economy shrinking, well, I believe Elon Musk has already laid a recession at the feet of genius Trump. Now, hasn't he? And her whole commentary about how and why she frustrates Trump. Can somebody clip that and send that to Democratic leadership? Yeah, we just need to go ahead and just make sure they go. Because one thing that we know and we have seen is how much she frustrates the right wing. Now, you could take that as, oh, that is actually something that grinds their gears and gets into the way of them trying to destroy, I don't know, the country. Or you could use it as blocking so you could do an end around and actually do your gentlemanly legislating. However you want to call it, clearly this is effective. All the way down to the point that she made about how if their attacks don't have any substance, that's when you know that you got her. Kind of like how we all knew that Elon Musk was crashing out. That's why I called the video that.
Because I don't know what's going on. I know that he's not necessarily the creme de la creme in general, because we know that potentially part of his issues as it relates to Harvard is that, well, he got rejected. So we know that he's not ever been known as kind of like the scholarly guy. We know that he will never be known as this amazing orator as some of our former presidents were. Barack Obama, another one of his favorites, right? We know that that's not his wheelhouse, but we also know that like he is like next level unhinged.
Question, did Obama get into Harvard? He did now, didn't he? Yeah, and they're quite proud of that fact that, right, that's interesting. Huh, that could be part of his obsession with Harvard. Because we know it was part of Elise Stefanik's obsession with Harvard because they tried to pack her up like they did Elon Musk at Mar-a-Lago. They say she had worn thin, and that's when she came around with all the DEI nonsense. Y'all not slick. Y'all not slick. And you get on people's nerves.
There's one thing that these people know. They know media. This is why, in fact, that's the only thing they know. This is why this cabinet is full of media personalities instead of people that are actually qualified to do their jobs. But they decided they didn't want to do it in the daylight because they didn't want the American people to see it. And there would be no reason for Trump to have to call them in to the White House to try to twist their arms if it was just so great. So yes, they may have their talking points together, but as we are on recess this week, both the House and the Senate, and people are starting to dig through all the things that are in there and seeing some of the fine print, some of the things that they absolutely threw in there. One of the things that hasn't been talked about is the fact that there are monies that were put into this bill so that on average for every ICE officer, there is a bonus of $42,000. So at the same time that you want to potentially give each ICE officer a $42,000 bonus on top of their salary, you have people saying, you know what, I can't afford groceries even with SNAP. Now we're just gonna go ahead and take away SNAP benefits to the tune of $330 billion. What's gonna happen to those farmers in rural America? The ones that were trying to plant and plan for people to go out and buy this food. The money doesn't just somehow magically appear because you removed it out of the ecosystem.
Now, we talk about how unqualified Trump's cabinet is from the perspective of the danger and the damage that could be done by virtue of these people placed in positions they have no business in and having undue control over the lives of American citizens. But the point that she just made, it's not just that they're unqualified, it's that their specific area of expertise is media. Their specific area of expertise is media. So you hire people who don't know how to do the job at defense, or don't know how to do the job at education, or don't know how to do the job at Homeland Security, whatever the case may be, but they're qualified and expert at communicating a narrative. And just those facts alone, like if you just told me that, it would make me not believe a single word that came out of their mouth. Yet somehow, this is never going to make sense in AP US history. I swear MAGA will never make sense in the future.
I ask you about the Medicaid cuts because I've asked the Republican members of Congress a lot about this. And what they tell me is the growth of the program was just getting out of control. And they say that they wanted to rein it in because people should work, able-bodied people should be working, and they're just getting the benefits. And they want to focus more on pregnant women, low income, and disabled. So what do you say to that?
I say that they are really good at spinning it. I'm going to diverge for just a second.
All right.
The last time we talked, you asked me about Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. You asked me about SNAP. You asked me about these things.
Absolutely.
And you told me that they said that the Democrats were not telling the truth. Well, here we are. And at least the House version of the bill has these cuts, and now they're having to talk about it. So I say, just go and look at their record for telling the truth or not. They lied before, they're lying now, okay?
So
they
what
said
they're
that
saying is not true.
It is not true.
Hey, do them talking about the Democrats trying to raise taxes. You know, out of power.
So I've heard Republicans say that all the Democrats who voted against this voted to raise everybody's taxes. What do you say to that?
I say it's a lie and it's a game. Here's the deal. You had every Democrat lockstep recognizing that this was going to inflict harm. And so they voted against it. And we know that this was just about taking care of the billionaires. It's a billionaire tax scam. But you also had Republicans that didn't vote for it in the House. You had 2 Republicans that decided to vote with the Democrats. And then you had another Republican that, in my opinion, most likely they got to and said, just don't tank the bill, right? And so that Republican voted present. So you still had 3 Republicans that didn't vote for the bill. Now, mind you, they have a 3-person majority, and unfortunately, we've lost 3 colleagues. So that's 6 people, right, that literally they got freebies on.
Wow, so that would kind of be like lining up to rubber stamp the agenda of the same guy who the whole party tried to collude to prevent him from getting a nomination the first time he ran. And then after he won and lost re-election in 2020, wouldn't allow him on Fox News for months. It would be kind of like if it was so good, right? That's wow. That makes a lot of sense. Now she is communicating remarkably well. We're gonna have to send this to the Democratic leadership. I'm picking up what she's putting down. Y'all talk to this issue with communicate. Send this to leadership. Yeah, they need to see this.
You're still facing a censure vote in the House unless that's gone away. I just wanted to ask you, what do you make of that? This was obviously for comments that you made about Governor Abbott. So talk to me a little bit about your level of concern, if at all.
I don't have any concern. I forgot all about that.
Okay, first of all, I gotta call a spade a spade. That's a lie. That is definitely a lie. But I definitely like the energy. I like the energy that you were giving to it. I think I've seen that energy before. First off, touch your chick and the click you claim. West side when we rock, I'm equipped with game. Okay, let me translate that. Let me translate that. That means I wish y'all would. I wish y'all would. Try me. I tell them that. I think I got the communication. I got the nonverbal. I got it.
I will tell you that you were able to, first of all, let me back up for everybody that's watching. Censure used to be a really big deal because there was some level of decorum in the House. Now that we have a bunch of the raggedy people in the House that we have, it's really nothing more than a badge of honor, unfortunately.
Did you just call you you just call him raggedy? You call. I feel like, can I see some slides? Can I see some slides of the people in question? And the word raggedy was used? Can I get language of origin?
But there were people from all over the country that talked about surgeries that have been canceled, and they have been canceled because they said that they did not have adequate personnel. So my deal is, if that's the truth, then prove me wrong. I am here for it. But I will tell you that as a trained litigator, I usually don't ask questions that I don't already have the answer to. So if he's got receipts, I'd love to see them.
Well, I can tell you what's not forgotten are the Democrats that voted to censure Al Greene. I ain't forgot about that. And you know what? It's actually lucky for them that I didn't forget it, because I ain't seen them since. You remember they went to the news media? Oh, well, we have a plan to deal with Trump, and been persona non grata ever since.
Al Greene's a friend. I respect Al Greene. Our caucus cannot be a distraction. I wish you guys were asking me about 70,000 VA workers getting laid off. I wish you guys were asking me about closing the Department of Education. That's what we should be talking about. We've got to keep the focus not on our caucus, but on what Donald Trump is actually doing.
What was the reason and what was the basis of your support for censure?
We have a clear strategy on how to defeat Donald Trump. That is to make sure the American public understands what Donald Trump is doing, how it is going to hurt their lives, how it is going to be inflationary, how it is not helping them.
I don't know what the plan. I missed the plan, apparently. No, we ain't forgot.
Congressman Connolly, who was the ranking member on House Oversight, a committee on which you sit on, as you know, obviously, he recently passed away.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are wondering if you are going to run for ranking member, or do you have your sights set on higher office here in Texas?
I am running for a ranker, for sure.
Oh, you are?
I am running. We are working on pulling it all together, but most likely either next week or before my colleagues get back, they will have what we call a Dear Colleague, which is a letter that they will all receive laying out why it is that I believe I am the best candidate for this moment, for this particular position. I had an opportunity, and I still currently serve as the vice ranker on this committee, being able to serve under Connolly as well as Jamie Raskin, and I still have an opportunity to serve under Jamie on Judiciary now. But I will tell you that as I was thinking through this, as you know, Representative Connolly had announced that he was going to step back, I thought about the fact that Elijah Cummings, who used to head the Oversight Committee prior to me joining Congress, recruited Jamie Raskin for oversight. And Jamie Raskin was a fearless leader last cycle for sure on oversight, and now he's on Judiciary. But it was Jamie Raskin that recruited me to come to oversight. And I think that there is something special that, you know, some of these rankers have seen in people that they literally have recruited.
Now, every time I do a premiere, every time I do a video about Jasmine Crockett, I get Crockett Raskin, Crockett Raskin. It's always in the comments. Y'all know how I feel about Jamie Raskin. I'm from the state of Maryland, and he gives me pride to represent the state of Maryland every time he opens his mouth and unleashes with absolute savagery.
And after we went back and conveyed our agreement to the GOP proposal, it was vetoed by the fourth branch of government. I'm not yielding now. It was vetoed by the cult leader, Donald Trump, who said he wanted no investigation at all. That's your guy. Donald Trump, he said he wanted no investigation. And so you pulled the plug on the investigation you originally advocated because Donald Trump didn't want it. Let's tell some truth.
Would you like
You're talking about truth? The facts. I'm giving you the truth.
Just on
I'm
one.
giving you the facts about it. And then when Speaker Pelosi said, well, in that case, the House of Representatives will conduct our own investigation, then again, you guys boycotted it because you wanted to put pro-insurrection members on the committee.
For a guy who went bankrupt several times. And yet, out of some misguided partisan loyalty, you're going to stick with him. I don't even know why you stick with him. He was a Democrat longer than he was a Republican. He wanted to run for president on the Reform Party. You guys have been taken over by an absolute con man. And now you're acting like members of a religious cult who don't even remember how you got in the first place.
So if your justification, and I didn't need additional justification because I've seen from Jasmine Crockett what I've seen from Jasmine Crockett responded to her the way that I have organically. But if your justification is the lineage that comes from Elijah Cummings through Jamie Raskin, I would like to see the opponents. That's all I'm saying. Hey, we talking about oversight. She ain't letting nothing go because she batting 1,000 on this one. I can tell you that right now.
But I do believe that we should educate the American people about the violations that are taking place as it relates to emoluments clause as part of the Constitution and the other constitutional violations that he's engaging in. As well as I think that we need to do the investigations and discover what is going on. What was this crypto dinner about where people are wearing masks and don't even want to be seen going in there? What's going on with the various pardons that are being given out after certain donors drop a lot of money into his pocket? What's going on with the fact that I think they said 40% of his wealth right now has actually accumulated since he's been in office? I mean, I'm not allowed to make any money at all. I mean, a book deal is quite complicated for me as a low member of 435 in the House, yet he is accumulating wealth and his family members, and he's putting them on trips and they're going out beforehand, and the next thing you know, like, there's all kinds of stuff going on with the Saudi government. There's all kinds of stuff that's going on with the Qataris. Like, what is happening? At a very minimum, we should be shining a light on what is taking place and let the American people for themselves see. And that is what the Oversight Committee can do. Now, we are obviously in the minority at this moment, but it doesn't stop me from being able to do field hearings in the form of like shadow field hearings, where we're going across the country and we're letting people's neighbors be the ones to testify about their experiences, whether they are former employees for the federal government, whether they are someone who is supposed to be receiving government aid of some sort. We need to make sure that people understand what's happening. And I think that there is no one better who can not only do the work, do the investigations, but can also make sure that the word gets out and is communicated. Because regardless of how people may feel, I will always say that Joe Biden was one of the best presidents that we've ever had. But ultimately, it didn't matter if people didn't know what all he was doing. And so I don't want us to get caught in that same way. And it's why I'm throwing my name into the hat to run to be the ranker.
Now, the point that she made about media and the significance of being able to communicate your message is something that I've been talking about for as long as I've been making videos in earnest with this channel. And we see how important the Republicans think that media training and media professionals and people that can connect with people are. But in that instance, they're literally putting lipstick on a pile of garbage. Like, they literally are having to spin whole cloth untruths and sell them to the American people. Imagine if you had somebody with even just a little bit, even just a shred of substance, what could be possible. The wild popularity of Jasmine Crockett is not by accident. And I'm just hoping that the powers that be are paying attention to how she can connect with people, in addition to the work that she has put in and prioritizing that when they're trying to get their message across. The point that she made about Joe Biden was a great one. It doesn't really matter if you can run with exploding debt and popping up bankruptcies with a pile of lawsuits on your ability to navigate the economy. That kind of communicating. That's what we need. No, nobody called your name, Elon. Nobody, not that kind of communicating. That's what we would call raggedy. That's what we would call raggedy. And by the way, Jasmine Crockett, you talk about the difficulty with the book deal and the money and all that. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she got the hookup. Yeah, ask her about them stocks. She got it. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you got a chance to catch the live premiere. As I mentioned last time, I premiere all of my videos and I love the opportunity to chat with you guys while you are seeing the content for the first time. And we keep those chats going over on Patreon, where we have the community chats. All you need to participate is an account, which you can sign up for free over at patreon.com/ReeseWaters. So get yourself an account, jump in the chat, and while you're there, take a look around and let me know what you think of the place. We also offer all the same benefits that are available here on membership on Patreon as well. Now, I'll be honest. I have been working a lot. I've been out here working like Tommy from Martin.
If you can't find any work, I'll put in a good word for you at my job, man. You ain't got no job, man!
I've been making so much content that we've had to put out multiples a day some days, or as I call it, BOGO. So be on the lookout for additional notifications. Just because you've seen one video come out doesn't mean another one might not. And those of you early birds, of which I am not one, you are in luck, because I do want to try out dropping some videos in the morning, because I know you guys like to watch content early in the morning. Now, that also gives me the opportunity to put out some behind the scenes content, so you members be on the lookout for that, as well as some interviews. I'm going to be bringing those to you as well.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today, and we will leave you with I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live!
But when it comes to exactly how we got to a point of producing so much content, so many people went into this, but I want to give some special love to our researcher on the channel, Regina. You guys know her and you love her, and here she is right here. Shout out to her supporting the channel, which, by the way, this shirt and a whole lot more is available at ReeseWaters.com, so make sure you check that out. But as long as she's still out here doing her thing, I'm going to be out here doing my thing. There's a whole lot more to come. Don't make me go to the trunk.